Welcome to this week's sermon recap. I'm Pastor Gary from Faith Baptist Church. Sunday, we started a series about spiritual warfare from Ephesians chapter 6. And I talked about how we can stand, why we can stand. First of all, we stand in His might. We're strengthened in His strength, His might. That's very important, a very important point that we understand. It's not up to us. And the victory is ours through Jesus. And then the second point I made is we stand because we follow His plan. He says, put on the whole armor of God that you might stand. He has given us the key to victory. He's showing us the battle plan for victory. And I want to add a couple more verses because the more I study this and the more I think about this is throughout the scriptures. We see these keys, we see these principles, we see these patterns laid out for us so that we can have the victory in Jesus. And I kind of commented about how it's disturbing that so many Christians don't have victory today. They're looking for help in other sources, or they're giving up, or they're bemoaning society. Listen, the gospel is powerful enough to change anybody and give anybody victory in any society. There are Christians that are overcoming today in very difficult circumstances, but all of us have the power of God. Now, two verses I want to add to what I talked about Sunday. 1 John 4:4. 1 John 4:4. And it's good to memorize these verses. He says, "You are of God, little children, and have overcome them." Talking about the Antichrist, because notice what he says. He who is in you, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, is greater than he who is in the world. That's what victory is. Who is more powerful, God or Satan? Now, we have the battle plan, and we know Satan is a deceiver, and we know he has power, and he's an accuser. However, he's not more powerful than God. And so that's why in this series I'm not going to be putting the emphasis on how bad it is and the spiritual forces. I'm going to mention them just so we can know, because we know the plan. If we know the plan, we know how to defeat it. But I'm putting the emphasis on the power of God, because victory is of God. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. And also in 1 John chapter 5, verse 4 says this: "For whatever is born of God," what does it say? "Overcomes the world." And this is what I emphasize at the end. All of this cannot be accomplished until we're born again, until the Spirit of God comes and lives within us, until we become, as Paul said, a new creature in Jesus Christ. And he says, if you're born of God, that's really the key. For whoever is born of God overcomes the world. And this is the victory that overcomes the world. What? Our faith. And that's what we have to believe. We have to believe that no matter what we face, we can never use the word impossible. We can never use the word defeat. We can never use the word can't. Now, Paul in 1 Corinthians 4 talks about his struggles, talks about we felt like we were dead. We felt like we were the least important people in the world. But by the grace of God, he was able to overcome. He said, we're cast down, but we're not defeated. And that's what John's saying here. This is the victory that overcomes the world. Our faith. In spite of everything that comes our way, we still have our faith. I don't know how many times I've been down, discouraged, cast down. Open up the scriptures and read the scriptures. And I would suggest you read the Psalms. Pray the Psalms. And I read at the end of service Psalm 27. And somebody asked me, what psalm was that? Because it's very powerful. And he says here, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked came against me to eat up my flesh, my enemies and my foes foes. What happened? They stumbled and fell. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war may rise against me, in this I'll be confident. We need to have confidence today. I'm so tired of us bemoaning, emphasizing, crying about the age in which we live in. This is an awesome age. I love this age. Man, I can do a Facebook video and get the gospel out. You could be sick at home and not miss church. Things are awesome. And the opportunities are laid out before us. Let's be strong. Stand in the power of God. Let's stand today. Let's be overcomers. Let's trust His might and let's follow His plan. You don't want to miss this Sunday as we'll be continuing this series. And don't forget, we have Wednesday night Bible study at 7, and we'll also be adding some. We'll also be discussing the spiritual warfare at Bible study. So looking forward to seeing you Wednesday, 7 o'clock. We're looking forward to seeing you Sunday, 10:30. Don't forget the ladies' luncheon on Saturday. God bless and have a great week.